Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed.
Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
Tuesday.
Every week when you do that, it surprises me. I never know how it's going to come out. But it's Tuesday, and we're so glad you're here for sophomore year season. Yay!
Right. Okay. So today is the 18th of October, and it is also the birthday of Jean-Claude Van Damme, JCVD, the muscles from Brussels, and possibly the reason I was married because he starred in a movie called Bloodsport, which inspired my husband to learn Muay Thai kickboxing, and if he didn't do that, then he wouldn't have the confidence that he has now, and we would not be married.
I like that stretch of ways that you sort of made that work. Only an ADHD brain can take Jean-Claude Van Damme and turn it into the reason that you're married through that convoluted of a path. That's hysterical. All I'm thinking of...
Welcome to...
Yeah, exactly. No. All I'm thinking of is the line from Friends when Monica and Rachel are staring at Jean-Claude Van Damme in the early episodes back when Matthew Perry and Julia Roberts were actually dating. And there's the one where they're on the movie set. And Monica's like, the muscles from Brussels? Jean-Claude Van Damme? Oh, yeah. It's so funny. Well, welcome to CK and GK. And we're glad you're here, and let's get this started.
All right. So I'm Jenny, and with me today is Caitlin, and she is so thankful that we record virtually because I spent the day outside yesterday enjoying the weather, but I stink.
Wait,
today.
Hold on. We still haven't showered after yesterday? We still smell like outside?
Absolutely.
I love it. I mean, I have been known to do the two, like the morning shower and the evening shower, but that's only if I get super sweaty. But I will tell you, I have not showered yet today. I've been outside all morning, so I understand it.
I actually did the no shower. Like I am yesterday.
Oh, nice. I bet you smell ripe. Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, Jenny, much like Janet from The Good Place, gets smarter every time you reboot her. So we're going to have to just see what kind of sleep exactly. Right, exactly. Just see what kind of like geniusness she comes up with today after her sleep from yesterday. So I love that show. It's so good.
It's good. Yeah. It was really good. I watched it after it was over.
Yeah, me too.
Much like Schitt's Creek and a couple others, like they're gaining their popularity after the show is canceled. But
yeah, and I love the, like, not to spoil it, I'm not going to, I'm just going to say, I love the way that it ended. I loved the way that it all came together. Such a great, great show. Okay, let's talk about some things. Let's circle time it up here. What you got for me today? Okay, sports?
So, sports. I will talk about today's sports. I said that it was October the 18th. It's really not. Today's actually October the 9th.
Right. We're planning ahead for the first time.
Right? Do you hear that? We are 9 days ahead. No. But today, the Packers were playing in one of those London games where the NFL goes over to England and like riles up support over there.
Tries to.
Packers were playing the New York Giants, and it was a very interesting ending to the game. In the fourth quarter, they were tied up. The Giants went ahead. The Packers got the ball back. There was a turnover. There was more time left in the game than the Giants could eat up because there wasn't weird, like not enough timeouts. Yeah. Then there was an issue with the clock and they had to reset it. So the Packers got the ball back with 7 seconds left. They didn't do it. Score,
it's too bad.
But it was really interesting. Like, I actually moved from the chair to the from the chair to the
floor
wow. to like get closer.
You were really into it,
which is also what I did. Yeah, this is also what I did last night when the Aggies lost to Bama. But at least they lost with points on the
Yes, that's true.
It was very close. But anyway, that's not the sports news.
I didn't think it was.
I wanted to share about this chess cheating scandal. Okay, so first off, yes, I'm calling chess a sport. Okay, argue with me, whatever, I don't care. Hans Niemann is the American chess champion right now.
Okay.
And he is being accused of cheating by Magnus Carlsen, who is like the #1 chess player in the world. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they were in a match together and he like resigned in the middle of the tournament and said, I will not play against him anymore.
Wow.
Ever.
Okay.
And did not give any reasons. He said, I cannot speak without Niemann's permission, but I have reasons and I'm not going to play with him ever again.
Wow.
So Hans Niemann has actually admitted to cheating twice before. He said, I did when I was a kid. I learned from it and I don't do it anymore. But chess.com like did this whole research analysis and looked at his games and thinks that that he has cheated over 100 times online based on computer generated moves. Like what would a AI like chess robot tell you to play? Something that they call toggling behavior. Like they can tell that he's flipping screens back and forth. He played several games with either perfect or near perfect accuracy, which I didn't even know there was like accuracy in chess. This is how like removed I am from this sport. But also checking his stats from previous matches, like how many times he went to a move, versus like how many times a robot would have gone to that move. It's very interesting. So there's this whole big report coming out. And the thing that has made it even more newsworthy is people are talking about it on Reddit. And one chess player did talk about how he has the ability to cheat with wearing a vibrating device in his shoe. Now, he didn't do it, but he's like figured out that you can. So then someone on Reddit said, well, like maybe he's wearing an internal body device, which of course like brought all kinds of conversations about where it would be hidden and what does it do.
I can't
and,
even.
You know, if you're a grown up, like you can imagine where this went. But it's a very interesting story. Like, did this dude cheat or did he not? And what does Magnus Carlsen know that he's waiting for Hans Niemann to like spill? The other thing is Hans Niemann has risen through the chess rankings very, very quickly. 2,500 points or some kind of score system makes you a grandmaster. Magnus Carlsen has a ranking of 2,800 plus. But Hans Niemann like went from 16 to 19 years old and like just jumped like 1,000 points. And so they're wondering if maybe there's some fraudulent chess that helped gain him that ranking so fast. Anyway, now you're up to date on the chess scandal, which, you know, did we ever think there would be?
I think chess is kind of top of mind again because of that Netflix special, like something about the Queen or something. I haven't seen all that, but I have heard of what's going on.
Queen's Gambit.
Thank you. Gosh, I do not watch enough television that's not Bravo. Okay, so my question is, if they know how do you flip a screen if you're sitting in a chess match? Like
No, like online.
Oh, it's an online chess match?
Yeah, he was playing online. And they could tell by the way his eyes moved and like the way his mouse was moving that he was probably toggling between screens. Which, like, let's be real. If you're going to cheat, open a different device.
Right? Like, he's got, like, his blue light glasses on and it's reflecting. That was what I always used to say to my students is, like, if you're going to be bad, at least be good at it because you're going to get caught otherwise. So, like, you're not slick. That's why when like, a teacher knows when your phone is in your lap because we can see you staring down at it and glowing, right? So, like, no one's crotch glows. Anyway,
my line was always break one rule at a time.
Oh, smart.
Which I got from my first boss out of college.
I like that one. That's a good one. I think I might have to steal that. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about what's going on in women's soccer right now.
Oh.
It was right. So I got this story on NBC News. There's plenty of news outlets that are covering it right now. About a year ago now, there were some accusations made by some players on a national women's soccer league team. And I'm just going to not say names because I can't remember names exactly and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So at that point, an independent U.S. soccer probe, which was headed by former U.S. Attorney General Sally Yates, began. Essentially what happened was, I am going to name some names here. The North Carolina Courage coach, Paul Riley, was fired. And the National Men's Soccer League commissioner, Lisa Baird, resigned after some former players under Paul Riley accused him of verbal and emotional abuse, in addition to some sexual misconduct. Since then, it's been about a year. An investigation has revealed that the abuse of players by coaches is a systemic issue in the National Women's Soccer League. Some coaches have reports of misconduct dating all the way back to when they were coaching youth soccer. Youth soccer. Okay. Children. The investigation, unfortunately, also revealed that this sort of behavior is pretty much part of the culture of women's soccer. There's been a normalizing of verbal abuse of players by their coaches. There are often unwanted sexual advances occurring that are part of this pattern of abuse. I know that my family is a soccer family. We're 4 girls and 1 boy. We played soccer as kids, and I actually do have a situation, not myself personally, but one of my sisters has a situation where there is some evidence of this behavior. So, oh my God, yeah, so I mean, I can't speak to how she's doing. I know that it was traumatic at the time for all the players. So, it sounds to me like this is a culture that's happened, right? That it's been normalized. There is a lot more to the story. All of these details that are coming out from this investigation, again, stem from the original Paul Riley situation. The story comes from The Athletic. You can find the whole publication there. There are additional coaches who are named by players in the report, and there are several sponsorships being dropped. Of course, Megan Rapinoe, the celebrated and very outspoken National Women's Soccer League player, has come out to speak about this. I think the bottom line here is that, once again, we're having a situation where women are not believed when they report these sorts of things, and that's why these are so underreported. Whether or not it's sexual in nature, verbal abuse, emotional abuse is not okay. It's not how you get the best out of your players. You and I know this as teachers, right? Like, the meaner you are to a kid, the less likely you are to get them to be on your side and have any learning from you. And then they're going to have a negative experience with school. I guess my message here is just, believe women when they speak. You do have the rare instance of women who have inflated claims. There was that whole Duke lacrosse team mess, right? We know about these sorts of things that do happen, but the majority of the time they're not lying, and at least investigate when the accusation is made. At least investigate.
Right.
At least try to figure out what happened.
What's that line? Trust but verify.
Right. And so it's really unfortunate. You can learn more about this. And, if you have a daughter who's playing soccer, ask how she's feeling, ask about her relationship with her coach, male or female, doesn't matter.
And we can extend that
to any sport, right? If you have boys playing sports, if you have, anyone who's playing a sport on a team, if you notice just some inappropriate language being used, not inappropriate necessarily sexual in nature, but just like damaging, right? Like, we all know what's okay to say and whatnot. And it sounds like children. Yeah. Just something to think about in the soccer world.
And if you are wondering as a parent how to approach this issue with your children, you can present the article and say, hey, I read about this scandal, all of this abuse that's happening in women's soccer, all the way down to the youth level. What do you think about that? How do you feel about your team? Do you see
that's a
anything
great
like this
piece
happening?
of advice? Yeah, that's a great way to approach it, especially if your kids are old enough to understand it. Yeah, I think that's a great bridge to that conversation.
Because I think that if your kids are old enough to understand it, that's probably the group of children that is going to have the hardest time having this conversation with their parents, 100%. Right? Like, we are talking about middle and high schoolers who are ready to hear these stories. And they might also be the ones that are hardest to ask, hey, are you feeling
right?
this?
And it's also, remember when you were, in middle school, I think either we've all blocked it out or remember it way too clearly, right? Middle school was really hard. And that's probably why, at least for me, that's why I became a middle school teacher, because I was like, someone has to like these kids. Middle school is hard, man. It's hard as a kid. It's hard as an adult. The hormones are out of control. Anyway, I just remember being in middle school and like hearing certain things and wondering like, is this normal? Is this how it is outside of myself? And so as a middle schooler, you're so afraid of kind of being different from everyone else that you don't want to rock the boat in any way. And so if you hear that this is happening to other people, that's a good thing to know, but also it just helps to normalize anything that's happening around you. There's so much of this hush hush stuff around every single thing. Let's just be okay with having these conversations. And I think that your advice is really good. That's a great way to bridge that gap for these kids. So just something to think about. That's what's happening in the world of women's soccer right now. There's lots more sports news happening. The playoffs have started for Major League Baseball. So we'll get into that later on in the season, but just know that was a big story that's top of mind for a lot of people right now. And I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of what was happening.
No, it's good that you brought it up. But I am going to bring up something that I'm obsessed with right now. Okay. So it's October, which means for many people it is fall.
Oh yeah.
It is pumpkin spice and Halloween and all of these things. But in our house, October means that the Christmas creamer is back at H-E-B.
Yes.
So John ran to the grocery store earlier this week and came home and showed me, look, I got a bottle of the Christmas creamer. Okay, it's like peppermint mocha is the flavor that we love. And it's also sugar-free.
Okay.
And it's just a bottle of chemicals, right? There's nothing in it that's like natural.
No.
But it is a great tasting chemical. And I said, oh my gosh, did you think to get 2? He picks up a bag. He bought 6 bottles of it. 6
is it
32-ounce bottles of peppermint mocha.
Is it shelf stable? Or is it going to take up all the space in your fridge? Okay.
No. Oh, it did take up all the space in the fridge. Yeah, but it's not going to expire before we can drink it. But thank goodness. We do have also a beer fridge in the garage.
Yeah. Okay. 6 bottles.
It's a beer and creamer fridge.
Oh my goodness.
Now.
Did I tell you about the how I switched to a different cold brew coffee and I didn't know that this one wasn't a concentrate? Let's just say sad light brown, not caffeinated drink. It was just so sad. So I had a concentrate of cold brew coffee, and then on the treasure truck, I have a problem with the treasure truck. They were doing a deal on 6 32-ounce cartons of iced or like cold brew coffee. So I was like, that's like if I buy 2 of the bottles of concentrate, that's $5 less than this 30. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. So I do it and I'm looking at it and I'm like, it looks different. And I don't know why it didn't occur to me that it wasn't concentrate. So anyway, I've been like basically watering down my coffee. And then I finally like put some, cause I also got like a fall creamer that's sugar-free, but this one is like a pumpkin spiced one.
Yeah, no. We skipped right over that and go straight to peppermint mocha.
So I got the pumpkin spice one and I look at it and I was like, why is it like a beige color? It should still look like coffee. It should still be brown, and it's not. And I'm not putting that. I'm like putting maybe a drop or 2.
Like
just a splash.
Yeah.
And, I finally looked at the carton and I was like, this is the ADHD brain, right? Just not paying attention to any detail, just like doing the thing I always do with this amount. I just felt so stupid. Like, no wonder I'm exhausted at 2 p.m. when usually I can just power right through because I've had my coffee. Oh, so dumb. Anyway, that's my story. I just bogarted your story and turned it into my own. I like that y'all have a ton of it in the house.
That's my whole story. Like, oh yeah. And we'll run through it.
But you'll need to buy 6 more cartons before the end of October, probably, yeah?
Probably.
Oh, Christmas time is all year long. If it's that shelf stable, y'all should just have it. Like, just get some more.
Well, and the deal is, like, we're not Christmasizing our house.
No, nothing else is
right?
Christmas.
Like, I am not going to do, I'm not going to do any Christmas until after Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite
Yeah, my
holidays.
husband's like that too.
So we like pause on Christmas until December. Yeah. But Christmas flavor, put it in my cup. I don't care if it's July.
Put it in my cup. Christmas flavor, put it in my cup. I'm into it. Oh, man. Well, okay, my obsession, and our friend Ashley knows about this obsession. I have a problem with nail polish in that I cannot keep it on. If it gets one chip, I'm immediately angry, like irrationally so. We've talked about this before too, where like I have gotten my nails done with like gels that are supposed to last for like at least a week, if not more. You get to almost 2, right? No, I get to like day 6 and there's chips and I'm like, what is this? So I get really irritated by it, but I really like to have nail polish on, and because I just think I don't know, I just like it. So, I have gone back to my standby, which is nail polish stickers. It's literally a sticker in the shape of a nail. And it's like when you were a kid and you would put on that peel off polish, right? And it just feels right. Okay. So I put that on and I'm telling you this is a week. This is a week. There are no chips in my nails. None.
And they're still shiny.
Now, I did put on another layer of top coat last night, but that was the first time I had put on. No, but I hadn't put on any top coat on it. Like, and they're still
I should
here.
have found a different compliment.
Oh, right. It's okay.
But I didn't know you could put a top coat on it. There you go.
Don't have
like
to.
That extends their life.
You don't have to, but you can.
But no, that's what I'm saying. You could.
And I mean, I'm at day 8. Not a chip, not a rip. Nothing's coming off. Why did I just, this is what I should be doing the whole time. And I have, switched my attention to the soothing videos now for me to find on like TikTok and Instagram Reels are like nail polish videos. I just really like to see people. I don't like the designs. I don't need the crazy stuff. I just like watching someone like put on like their press on or their fake nails at home and then polish them. And they look so cute and pretty. And I love that. But now I can just do it with my stickers again. So I'm going to have to go back to the company that I buy them from. You can also find this particular brand at Target if you are a Target shopper, but it's called Dashing Diva. I have no other experience with any other nail sticker brand. I'm going to put that out there. But Dashing Diva, I am able to get almost 2 weeks out of these stickers, if not longer. So just putting that out there. Incredible. And then the way that you get them off is you can use just like regular nail polish remover, but what I've started doing, found this on TikTok too. You put some like acetone, just nail polish remover in a baggie, and then you add a little bit of olive oil and a paper towel. And while you're doing that, you also have a bowl of water, just a small bowl of water in the microwave. You're warming it up so that it's like hot. You don't want it to burn you. Just be careful when you take it out of the microwave because otherwise it'll burn you and splash, right? But then it's when it's warm enough, like kind of almost too hot. Not burn yourself hot, but almost too hot. You put your hand in the baggie and then you put the baggie with your hand in it in the warm bowl of water and you just let your hand sit there. And the acetone will start to eat away at the nail polish, but the olive oil will keep your fingers from drying out. Yes, it's really interesting. And then you just leave it in there for like, if they're gels, you leave it in there for a little bit longer, like maybe 10 minutes. But if this just nail sticker stuff, just leave it in there for like 5 or 6 minutes. Take your hand out, take a look at it. You'll see everything starting to come off. It's and then you just like use a cuticle stick and push it all off. It all comes out right away. So anyway, that's my nail tip, right? And I'm going to try that because
I have gels right now that are getting close to the end of their life. And normally I use that as an excuse to get my nails done, but I'm kind of getting in trouble for getting my nails done too much. So I'm going to try and take it off myself.
Yeah, just see if it works. I got that on TikTok. I can't take the credit for it, but it works really well for me. And I mean, I sent this, our friend Ashley also really likes these nail stickers. I turned her onto them too. And her nails, she has like the long, like beautifully shaped nails. So it looks really, I just have like, round, like they're practically circles. My fingernails are just, I like them short, but like, I mean, the nail, its shaped self is just a weird like wide shape, but it works for me. And I showed Ashley, she said she's going to try it. I bet it'll work for her too. I really like taking them off that way. Super simple, but these nail stickers are awesome. So again, Dashing Diva, some colors stick better than others, but they're really fun. And they're super easy and you don't have to worry about them drying. You know what I mean? Because I always mess them up when they're drying. Yeah. Fun. All right. We have gems.
Well, the gems. This is my favorite part of the show, right? Like this is
my favorite.
Get to tell the really funny stories. These are the things that happen. Okay, so I actually did not choose this gem. It was chosen for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It was chosen for me by Abigail, who, longtime listeners, you know this is my kid.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah, right. So Abby has an appointment for just like a regular checkup. And we're getting out of the car and she says to me, "Am I getting any shots today?" And I said, it's just a check-in. Like we're just here to check on your meds and make sure everything's working properly. It'd probably be like a 15-minute appointment. She goes, "Oh, okay."
You're disappointed? Like, right,
shots?
Exactly.
And she goes, "Yeah, I did." And I said, "Because you want some kind of treat afterward?" She's like, "No, I just wanted to get shots today."
So
I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
why is
weird.
This a thing? So we go in, and at the end of the visit, we're talking to the doctor, and I said, "So Abigail wants shots. Like, is she due for any vaccines that you could give her today?" And he goes, "Oh, we're always giving away flu
there
shots."
You go.
He says, "And Abigail, if you really want to get these many shots, like I can line up a group of trainees who can all give you a different something."
No, Abby. No.
He's dying.
Oh my gosh.
He thinks it's hilarious. And she's like, "Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's get all the shots today." So I mean, she just gets the flu shot. We're all playing about her being a pincushion. But we're walking out of the car or walking out of the
place to the car.
Clinic, and I'm just like, "Abigail, you are so weird. Like you're just so strange. Like I've never known a child who like wants to have shots." She's, "No, I just like it, you know, like I'm trying to figure out why she likes it. I still don't know." But as we get in the car and I'm just telling her like, "Oh my God, you're so weird. You're so weird. You're so weird." She looks at me, she goes, "You can put this on the car." Like,
okay, girl, I got you.
So even if she doesn't want shots, but she like wanted a story to be on the podcast, she got it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear, the kids make up half the fodder for the show anyway, right? So now she's intentionally putting things out there for us to use, which is great. I like it. You know that you have permission to share that story.
Oh, like I have permission to tell any of the other ones.
I know. It's okay. Well, you know, I mean, I have kind of a twofold story. One of them you already know, but you know, my child loves Halloween. Like loves Halloween. Has been talking about Halloween for a while, for a long time. Halloween. Yeah, he's always loved it as long as I can remember. So, one, I was, we every year we put out these Halloween decorations, and they are these giant inflatable dinosaurs, ish. They're like T-Rexes. One of them has a pumpkin for a head, and its name is Pumpkiny because it has a name, of course, right? And the other one is a T-Rex skeleton with a witch's hat and a trick-or-treat bag, and its name is Skelly. And Pumpkiny and Skelly are the hit of the neighborhood. And where we live, like if you're coming out of our neighborhood, pretty much everyone sees these two things. And then one day my child goes, "I would also like to have like one of those really big spider webs that you can put out in your yard." So my husband, being the sucker for our child that he is, buys the big spider web, and we are going to set it up last week. And, I was like, "Oh, it would look really cool if like it's hanging from the tree, but also like most people just have it come down like in the shape of a triangle and then they anchor it to the ground." But I was like, "What if we tied it to this other tree over here? That would look really cool." So my husband hangs it up, and then he is trying to tie it around the tree and struggles. So I then take over tying it to the tree. And I tie the other thing to the tree, and then my husband anchors it down, and then he kind of steps back and he's like, "Okay." And he goes and gets this big spiders that are supposed to go on it. And he starts putting those on there. And then he like pulls out this big thing of cobweb. Oh my gosh. Those big cobwebs that you would like put all over your banisters and stuff. Well, we have a deck that wraps around the front.
That's like,
it's like cotton.
It's like that
yeah.
That's like inside your blanket or whatever. And then you stretch it out.
It's what feels like it's kind of in like stuffed animals for dogs, right? It's like that sort of cottony feeling. But it's softer. And what I didn't know is that it's like double layered. So I start to put it across the banister that goes around our deck. And my husband also tries to help, but he immediately gets frustrated. He's like, no, forget it. I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this. So I then take all of this stuff and I'm like wrapping it around our banister and making it look all cobwebby. And our banister has, it's all wood. So there's like little splinters. It's not perfectly like filed down. There's, it's Texas. There's
wood gets thirsty.
So it's all sticking out and there's little splinters, and I'm getting little splinters all over the backs and fronts of my hands, like all in my fingers, anytime.
Oh, from sticking your hands in between the slats.
And I also, in order to make this webbing stick, I kind of have to grab it and like pat it onto those little splinters, because that's how it's going to stay. Exactly.
Right. It's like a Velcro situation.
So, my husband's standing back, like across the street, like just checking out my work. At one point I turned him and I was like, are you supervising or like what's happening? He's like, no, I just want to make sure that I did the spiders right. I'm like, all right, cool. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it takes me like another 45 minutes to get this whole thing sort of put together. I think I was out there from maybe like 7:20 in the morning after we dropped off our son at the bus stop to a little after 8. And I remember saying to my team at work, like, hey, this is the reason I'm late. And I showed a picture to them. Well, we go pick up our child from school and come home, and I see my son's face in the rearview mirror, and he's like, like excited, right? Like so happy. Yay! And I'm like, okay, I did take splinters out of my hands for like 5 minutes earlier today with a pair of tweezers, but this is making it worth it, right?
Totally worth it.
And he says, oh my gosh, thanks, Dad. And after he looks at it again, he goes, wow, I'm so sorry you had to do all that work. Girl. Girl, when I tell you, I like, of course, as soon as it happens, I was like, okay. Yep. And, in fairness to my husband, he did buy it. He did help me hang up the big spider web, but I am the one who tied it. He put the spiders on. He's the one who, secured it to the ground, but I did all the cobwebbing. And oh man, I'm just like, okay, all right. Yep. Thanks, Dad. No problem at all. And so that's my first gem, right? I think every mom on the planet is like, yep. That sounds about right. Been there. That adds up. So the other one is there's other houses that are going all out as well. And there's one house on my walk. I walk very early in the morning. Don't worry, I carry my pepper spray and lights and everything. So I'm prepared. But this house has purple lighting against it to kind of make it look extra creepy. And exactly. I wasn't prepared for what it was going to shine its lights on. This place has old creepy dolls all over the yard. One of them is on this like rocking horse with missing, like it's like an eye missing. And like the one doll that really freaks me out is the one that's on it's an old wooden swing, but the head doesn't stay on. So like one day she's headless, and I like see this like black hairy looking thing, like not on the street, but like kind of towards the curb, because I'm walking up against the curb because there's no sidewalks in our neighborhood. And I looked down, and I kind of like poked at it. And when I saw the doll face, I jumped like halfway across the street.
That is
what is best. This? I was like
you want to ring their doorbell and say like, you guys nailed it.
I was so afraid. Like, so like, oh my gosh, no. I'm out. And I like jumped across the street. And I know now, funny. Like, I don't know what instinctively made me reach down to like poke at it. Like, you're not supposed to poke hairy black things on the street. Like, it could have been some sort of dead rat. Like, what was I thinking? But for whatever reason, in front of this house that was all like spooky Halloween, right? I had to poke it. And also, you know, impulse control is not my not my strong suit. And I'm just like, what is this? And I'm telling you, I jumped halfway across the street. Like, thank goodness there were no cars coming, because I like bolted.
Because right.
And now I know not to touch the weird thing.
Neighbors.
Like,
yeah. So we have some neighbors every year at Halloween. They set up a skeleton family
nice
in their yard. And the family always has a different adventure. So one year it was them going on vacation and like packing, and the suitcase has clothes like spilled out everywhere. The mom skeleton is sitting on it trying to zip it.
Funny.
Oh no, they're hilarious. And it's all true to life situations. Yeah. There's one where they were sorting through all of the mismatched socks. They're sitting in a circle around all these socks.
We have one that every year she does like a yoga class. So she puts out yoga mats, and there's like 6 or 7 skeletons all doing yoga, and like one of them will have like their leg up, and it's very funny. I love when people do stuff like that. But the doll thing, that's a hard pass.
No. That is a next level.
Right.
Of Halloween
and they're
decorations.
Like dirty with like extra pale skin. It's just so creepy.
Yeah.
And I took Sam by it, and I told him what happened, and he was like, yeah, that's a creepy one. I'm not real sure I need to go buy that one again. I was like, well, wait till you hear what I did this morning, like an idiot. I poked one. What was I thinking? Like, what? Why did I even do that? So yeah, that's me scaring myself for Halloween.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, we've got a promo for some of our friends coming up, and then we're gonna pop in and do some real talk about your wardrobe.
Hey, I'm Karen.
And I'm Aubrey.
And this is Chicklit, a literature comedy podcast where we enjoy getting lit and talking about books that spoke to us as young adults.
I'll make a controversial statement. I will take this over Space Jam.
Is that controversial?
People love Space Jam.
We might have to stage a fight.
So if you enjoy YA fiction, that fool of a fairy Lucinda did not intend to lay a curse on me. She meant to bestow a gift.
Boozy beverages.
Little shot of Bailey's in your coffee. Coffee, pizza, and Bailey's goes together like...
Doesn't go together. Like
it doesn't go together at all. And the power of friendship. I'll be like, I bought your Christmas present. And she'll be like, what'd you get me? I have to know.
Tell me right now.
And I'm like,
Henry
no.
gets so irritated because I'm like, do you want your present now? And he's like, it's like October. No, I don't. Then we're the podcast for you.
We've been best friends for over a decade, so join in on the fun and grab a drink, y'all. January 6th at 1:15 p.m., the day that Dry January died.
Okay, so today we are talking about how to update your wardrobe. And this is coming from someone who does know what they're talking about, Caitlin, and someone who knows nothing about what they're talking about.
Here's the fun thing about this. You say I know what I'm talking about. I know these things, but have I done them? No. I work from home. I wear like scrubby stuff all day long. Like I don't dress nicely most of the time. I don't have a need to. And anytime I dress nicely, no one sees me anyway. So I'm like, all right, fine. So there's that. But also like I have a really hard time wanting to abandon the clothes that I have in my closet because I spent money on those things, and I really don't want to get rid of all these things just because they're, quote, not trendy. So I think what we're really going for today is how to just update a few pieces or wear what you have a little differently so that you can be more on trend. And I'm going to preface all this by saying, if you have the basic millennial wardrobe, and the one that we're talking about is like the Pinterest one with the big blanket scarves and the sweaters and the tall boots, and that's what you feel comfortable in and you don't want to change it, I think you rock that. I think you own it, and you wear whatever you want and you are as comfortable as you can possibly be. That's important. So just putting that out there as a disclaimer here. No one's saying that you have to change your wardrobe. If you want to update a few things, we have some advice for how to do that. Yes.
Right. Now, you have probably seen this TikToker who like went viral and was like in the New York Times doing take this millennial outfit and do this to make it updated. And I read a lot about her and I thought it was really interesting, but at the same time, I was like, do we have to like label this as generational clothing? Is it possible for us to just say like, hey, here's some things that were really trendy before and now they're being replaced by other trends.
And also, is her name Julia? Because I think this is the one that I actually am referring to. And I like some of her stuff, but I agree with you that I don't like the label for like, this is millennial clothes.
Yes, it is 100%
it is Julia.
This girl.
Yes. Okay, so I am going to talk about her.
And she's
right.
Yeah, she's become super famous with it. She's super great. But for me, it's just the idea of like, oh, because you were born on this day, you are out of style. And it's like, that's not necessarily the case. So
how this has been happening for eons though too, right? Like how many times have we as a group of people, has a generation been like, Mom, you're not on trend anymore. Right. And I don't care if I'm not on trend anymore necessarily. Of course, I want a few trendy pieces and all that, but I just care about how I feel in my clothes. So I agree with you that labeling it kind of annoys me. That said, there is some good advice that she is offering, and we are going to talk about that for sure.
She has great advice. No. And she is not the only person
she's not even close
to like label things as like one generation's clothes. She is just the person who like happened to gain a lot of notoriety for it and be published in multiple magazines and news outlets. So what I want to start with is avoiding trends altogether.
Ooh, I'm into it. Let's do it.
Okay. So I have an article that is from alot.com and it is the title of the article is 30 fashion trends to ditch in 2022 and what to wear instead. Ooh. And I am telling you, the point of this article for me is to read it and not to subscribe to either.
Okay.
Because I try and avoid trendy clothes and instead get either trendy accessories or one trendy piece that I can wrap in with my, what I hope is a little bit more classic, kind of a preppy, just straight, wardrobe. Okay. So they're telling you, don't wear things that are too fitted. Instead, wear things that are completely oversized. Well, I am of the belief that if your clothes are tailored to fit you, and that doesn't necessarily mean go to a tailor. I'm saying like wear clothes that fit your body well. They're going to stand the test of time. So instead of wearing something that's completely skin tight or something that's really, really baggy, try and dress for your body style. And there's lots of articles out there where you can like even input your measurements and they can tell you what sizes you should be looking at. They talk about sleeve styles. Instead of ruffly sleeves, go with puffy sleeves. Well, if you're trying to avoid that, a nice straight tailored blouse
always looks good.
Always looks great. And you could pair it with, a little puffy jacket or something that kind of updates it a bit. This article is very interesting. It tells you exactly like what was trendy last year and what is coming up next year. Shoulder pads are back in. I don't know if you know this.
I'm seeing a lot of that with the oversized blazer. I think that's why, because if you don't have any shoulder pads and you're wearing an oversized blazer, it just it looks frumpy as opposed to styled intentionally. So that makes sense. Yeah. I'm not a fan, but I don't really like blazers in general. So
but if you're not a shoulder pads person, look for something structured in the shoulders.
Okay.
Maybe it has a little bit of a ruffle on the shoulder or a puff or even a starched collar will give you the same kind of structure and angles near your face that the vision for shoulder pads kind of comes from. It's like, how can we give you some angles around your face and bring attention up? So look for things along those lines if you're not a shoulder pads person. So anyhow, the whole point of this article is just you can actually ditch all of the trends and try and interpret them with classic pieces.
I love that.
And then you don't have as much updating to do.
I love that.
But that's not really what we're here for. Today, we're going to talk about some swaps that you can make. Tell us what you got.
Okay, so I'm going to start by giving credit where credit is due. There are 2 TikTokers that I really like their advice. One of them is Julia, who we mentioned earlier. She's the one who was featured in the Times and all those things. The other, the handle, her @ is Burger Boo. And she's super cute. And
can we talk about that name?
I love the name too. I feel like also, personally.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be a fast food restaurant in Australia.
I wonder if my Australian friends are listening. I wonder if they would have opinions about that. That's so funny. Or like something that Bluey would call like a certain type of burger. Right. Yeah. So I'm going to start with jeans because jeans are controversial. Okay. So I'm just going to stop here with this. We know
that is a sentence. Jeans are controversial.
They are right now, especially for women who are our age, because skinny jeans are no longer in. And I know that we know this, right? Like it's not that we don't know. It's that 1, we invested in them. And so we want to wear them. 2, for me, I'm like, what shoes do I wear with something that's not a skinny jean? Which is so funny because when skinnies came in, I was like, oh my God, what shoes do you wear with these? Everything's going to look so awkward. My feet are big. It's going to be obvious. Like it was just a mess. So, but I don't want to go back. So whatever. I will say this, you can still wear your skinnies. You can still do it and still be trendy. You just don't pair them with all other tight things at the same time and then a giant blanket scarf, right? Because the look for so long was skinny jeans, tall boots, and then you wear like a tighter, more fitted shirt, maybe a vest, right? And then you put on this big blanket scarf over it to kind of give this illusion of like more relaxed, right? But that's not on trend. Like don't do it that way. And you don't need to wear them with like a plaid shirt and then a utility jacket and other tall boots, right? Like that's just, you don't have to wear them like that. But you can do to kind of bring them more into a modern time is pair them with a platform sneaker or like chunky shoes. Right now, chunky is back. Like think like, back to your Steve Madden days.
Like platforms.
Yes, back to your Steve Madden days. Do you remember like the chunky black sandals that were like cloth across the top and they would slap your feet when you walked? Friends, those are back. All right. Everyone.
Okay. So I worked at Payless when these shoes were like first popular. And we had a set of vinyl, which, fake leather, colored wedges. And there was a black, a white, a red, and a brown. And I am telling you, the red wedges sold out at every store. And we started having that be part of our phone answering. Hello, thank you for calling Payless. We are sold out of red wedges.
Oh my gosh. I just remember that you could go to Payless and get the like knockoff Steve Madden-esque foot slapping shoe.
Well, and I think that's how Payless made most of their money during this era was knocking off the candies and the Steve Maddens.
I think every woman our age is hearing that noise in the back of their head right now, right? That slap of like shoe on heel, totally hearing it. But those are back and chunky shoes are back. So you could wear them with like a chunky sneaker, a platform sneaker, or a chunky heeled sandal and those Steve Madden things. You can also pair your skinnies with a like cropped or a shorter tank top. Now, let me tell you, I'm not a crop person, right? Like this body has had a baby, so I'm not really feeling the cropped. However, I will do shorter. I can do a shorter shirt. We're just not going like below the butt anymore. Right. We're not doing that anymore. You can also wear them with an oversized blazer or an oversized sweater. As Jenny mentioned earlier, baggy. The baggier look is in right now. And I think a lot of people are afraid of like baggy everything. Baggy everything is very Gen Z. I'm just going to put that out there right now. They are doing baggy shirt, baggy pants, baggy everything a la, your Jinkos in 1998. Okay. They are doing that, right? We are grown up.
Right.
We are doing it differently. So we're not going to have everything baggy. We might have one piece that's baggy. So that means you can have your baggy piece on top and still wear your skinnies and be okay.
And I think that's a great point. We are grown up. If you are of a certain age, and let's just say like you're working professional, you've made it through your mid-20s, right? Once you step into this phase of life, you don't actually need to dress the same way.
No.
You can. I'm not saying you
But
shouldn't.
you don't need to do it.
Saying, but you don't need to.
If you are ready to update your jeans, okay, you need to ease out of your skinnies because it's going to feel weird and you're going to hate anything super baggy right off the bat. You're going to be like, nope, don't like it, and put it back. Okay. So you can go with a pair that is more fitted over your butt and your thighs, like a skinny would be, but just has some more space in the ankle and in the calf area. Okay. I don't mean boot cut. I don't mean flare. Okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean more of a straight cut, so that they just come down at the knee and then they go straight down. Now, I am someone who has big soccer calves. Okay. So I have to be really mindful of this when I go looking for jeans. That's why I like skinnies, because straight cut often doesn't go wide enough for me at the calf. So I have to be real careful about what I'm wearing. So I understand your hesitation, but that is one thing that you can do, is just go for a straight cut jean, because it is going to be more fitted in the butt and thighs. But then as you get down into the thinner part of your leg, it will sort of just hang straight the way it's supposed to. And I say this as a former denim expert with American Eagle, because that was my job for a very long time. I mean,
since you've been melting.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was the gap.
Exactly. So once you feel more comfortable in a pair of straight leg jeans, you can start to go a little bit wider. And also, you're looking for something that's not going to hit at the shoe level. You don't want the hem of the jean to be at your ankle. I mean, we're not talking about skimming your shoe. We're talking about above the ankle here. The things that I've heard over several videos, lots of research, lots of articles that I looked at when I was doing this, everyone is talking about Madewell's Perfect Vintage Jean. So when you're ready, now Madewell, I realize, is a price point that many people are not comfortable with. So take a look at Old Navy's selection of jeans, because Old Navy's jeans right now are killing it, right? There's tons of people talking about Old Navy jeans as well. So maybe that's where you go. You start there and you look for a straight leg at Old Navy. But everyone is talking about Madewell's Perfect Vintage Jean.
I have also heard about these jeans and have a friend who wears them, and they are pretty adorable. But there are lots of dupes out there that are getting good reviews as well. There's one that the Gap made that look pretty great. And then
the Gap's a great place for jeans too.
Surprisingly, yeah. Well,
always has been.
Still the same company as Old Navy.
Exactly. Always has been.
Okay. But there's also one made by Abercrombie that's getting good reviews.
Yeah.
They're less.
Yeah, that's very true. And a lot of people are talking about Abercrombie jeans right now. And I think it's interesting because also I think people our age have a very negative taste in our mouths from Abercrombie. And, if you've watched that Abercrombie documentary, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I do think that it's important to note that it's not the same company that it once was, and you can patron or not. I'm not going to encourage either way. I will say that if it's a price point issue, then they might be a better option for you. I want to really briefly talk about your tunic, the tunics that we all love, especially those of us who are moms and we're like, yes, thank you for a wide flowy shirt. It's not about the tunic necessarily. It's about how you tuck it. So you're going to need to start tucking it. And the one thing that I've seen a lot of is a full tuck in the front or a full tuck in the back as well. So a full tuck all the way around is one way that you can still wear the same shirt with the same pattern, but just know that it's going to be tucked. And then you're going to pull it out a little bit, make it feel a little bit blousy, but not too much. Or if it's a button down tunic, tuck in one side and leave the other one out. So that's another way to wear that. Cardigans. Oh my gosh. Gone are the days where we do the dress and the belt with a cardi over it. I did this so much. They were tight for a while, right? They're not anymore. You need to go oversized on your cardigan. I would probably pair it with something that buttons in the front, something that maybe looks a little bit like an old man cardigan, like a V-neck cardigan with buttons that are lower down is what I'm seeing a lot of right now. And I've noticed that they are not patterned. It's fewer bold prints, go plain, because the trend right now is minimalism. And you are never going to look outdated with a minimalist color or pattern, right? Like it's always going to look fine and classic for a while. So I like that.
Right. The sweaters that I am noticing remind me of country club in the late 80s, early 90s.
I see what you're talking about.
They've got this like little bit of chunky knit, but not huge. V-neck, like maybe there's multiple stripes of color during the V-neck. It just, to me, it screams 90s.
I'm also seeing a lot of sort of, again, chunky, a mock neck, like a mock turtle neck. I'm seeing a lot of with like a really big kind of blousey looking sleeve. I'm seeing that quite a bit too. Again, oversized is going to be the way to go here. And the other one that I saw was I'm seeing a lot of drop sleeve. So if you're not familiar with a drop sleeve, what I mean is traditionally your sleeve attaches at the shoulder, right? You'll see a seam that goes around your shoulder. That's really common. If it's a drop sleeve, it's going to be lower down. So like more towards your bicep. That's what a drop sleeve sweater is called. And they just have a bigger, like blousier look to them anyway. So that's for all kinds of sweaters, cardigans or not. Leggings, we're not doing long sweaters and Uggs or other tall boots. We're not doing that anymore. We're doing them with a long jacket over everything, especially for those of us who don't feel comfortable with our like butt just out in leggings, right? So we're pairing them with a long jacket, and then underneath the long jacket, you could wear like a crew neck sweatshirt, maybe a cropped crew neck sweatshirt, so that you still have the trend of that cropped look that's a little bit boxier, but you're wearing an oversized jacket that covers up your rear so you feel more comfortable with that, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And you could also wear them with chunky shoes. I'm also seeing them with a sweater and like ankle boots.
I am a fan of the ankle boot.
I don't mind the ankle boot. I mind where it hits. Like there are just some things that bother me about it. So, okay. Dresses, folks. The t-shirt dress that we love so much. It's not really doing it anymore. We're not really doing that. We're switching to like a shift dress is what I'm talking about. We're not doing shift dresses anymore. We're doing like a bodycon, which if you're not sure what a bodycon is, it means it's body conscious. It's like, it's up against your skin, right? It's tight, it's fitted. And we're pairing that with something, what? Chunky or oversized, so that you have a little bit of balance here. It's not just skin tight, it's skin tight with a bigger item to bring it up to trend. Okay. They are okay to pair those with sneakers. I don't know if you're noticing that, but like even cute little baby doll dresses that are also on trend, by the way, are being paired with tennis shoes.
Every fall or every spring, whenever you start thinking about your wardrobe, buy yourself a new pair of white canvas sneakers. They don't need to be Ked's brand. No. Right? You can pick these up. I have a pair of white leather.
Oh, fun.
Tennis shoes. And I got them for like $19.
And right now, make them a chunky pair. Right? Make them a thicker, like thick sole chunky shoe. Perfect. Also, I'm seeing tall socks coming back. You will get my tiny no-show socks off of my cold, dead body. I love my no-show socks. I don't like tall socks anymore. I don't think it looks normal. I cannot stand it. We were the generation of kids who pulled our socks up to our mid-calf, like our tube socks up to our mid-calf until we were 14 years old. And the soccer lines that I had combined with the weird sock line. It's just not happening, right? I'm not doing it again. So I don't see myself wearing the chunky socks along with the chunky shoes, but that's going to be me, right? Like, yeah.
Right.
So just putting that out there. Okay. Skirts. Gone are the days of the maxi skirt. Sorry. We're not doing that anymore. I'm seeing a lot more midi skirts. A midi skirt is like between the knee and the ankle. Okay. So like think mid calf, mid shin. All right. Again, you're going to go with a minimal pattern. You can pair them with sneakers, which is really nice, and an oversized sweater, preferably something that's kind of cropped. Okay. Is what I'm seeing that.
And high-low is coming back.
Oh, I have a problem with high-low. I just don't like high-low.
I have a high-low skirt that will tell you how old it is. Lauren Conrad.
Nice.
brand.
I have some Lauren Conrad corduroy pants that are skinnies that I loved, but I wore them to work all the time. Get it, LC? LC. But Lauren Conrad is our age, so it's time to... She's probably telling us to update everything too. Okay. All right. The denim jacket. This is a dead giveaway for anyone who is a millennial. And here's what I mean. Okay. Our denim jackets have been fitted. And you're going to be like, no, it's not fitted. I know it's not fitted because it feels big on me. No, it's fitted to you. Okay. That's just how they were cut for so long. We are changing that. We're going with a cropped jean jacket. So that means it's shorter. Okay. And it hits at your natural waist, your true waist, which is up above your belly button, most of you. Or we're going with an oversized, like too big jean jacket. That's what we're wearing things with. Okay. So again, if you're going to go bodycon and you want to wear like a really tight dress, pair it with a big jean jacket and not like a thin, like small jean jacket, which for some of us is going to be devastating because that's like how we completed our outfit, right? Like I totally completed my outfit with the jean jacket all the time.
And I am completely ignoring this part because I like my fitted jean jacket. It's my like security blanket, right? Yeah. If I feel like I'm showing too much of my arm and like I got a little bit of flab happening, I'm putting that jacket on. So this is like every person, you making your own decisions about what you're putting on your body. But if I wanted to be on trend, I would wear a bigger jacket. I'm not going to. I'm going to wear the same one.
And that's the other thing too, right? Like what I'm hearing from most of these people who are talking about updating the millennial outfit is just that some of these things are dead giveaways that you are a millennial. But like I have enough Botox in my forehead to sort of maybe make me look a little bit younger, but the white hair is a dead giveaway. Okay. So like, I know that I'm not fooling anybody. So if the point is to like make me feel and look like I'm not a millennial, like that's never going to happen. Right. Like no one is sitting here saying, well, if you dress this way, you're going to, no, it's more just like, if you want to update yourself because you are stuck in a little wardrobe rut, or you do feel like you want to add some new pieces, here's what you can do, right? Like that's all we're saying.
Right.
Okay. Shoes. Y'all, this is hard for my heart because I don't like this look anymore, but platform and chunky everything. Platform and chunky sneakers. Platform and chunky sandals. Platform and chunky boots. You know what I'm talking about. You get it. They look like we would call them combat boots. Like that's what I'm seeing right now. Giant soles and giant heels. And also, Burger Boo, the girl on TikTok, is a big fan of cowboy boots with everything. What? No. Like we're talking about tucking wide leg jeans into cowboy boots. How does that even work? No, I'm not doing it. But everything is chunky on shoes right now. We're going to talk about boots for a second. A lot of us like our ankle boots. Yes, we do. And a lot of them have like a low heel. Right now, we're looking for more height on the heel, a pointier toe, and more height on the shaft of the boot. So the shaft of the boot is the part that comes up your leg. So if you were doing ankle boots where they would just hit right at the ankle or just below, now we're coming up to like, let's say you're wearing a pair of leggings and they come up above just above the ankle. That's where you want your boot to go, right? So like a couple of inches above the ankle bone is what we're looking at. And if you're wearing those cropped jeans, you want the cropped jean to hit right just below that boot. That's what we're talking about here. Now, I realize for a lot of people that looks funny, but if your boot doesn't come that high up and you have the cropped jean, then we're talking about a high waters situation. We're talking about clam digging.
Yeah,
it
looks like
weird. Exactly. Yeah. So you have to be intentional about that pairing. So that's why we're doing that with our boots. Okay. And again.
So what about my Chacos? Are they
I don't think
cool?
they've ever been cool.
Right. Outside the camp counselor world, Chaco tan isn't a badge of honor for any other culture.
I am seeing people who are pairing Birkenstock clogs with these kinds of pants. Yes. That is happening.
And I will tell you, Birks are
everywhere. So just putting that out there, you can still wear your Birks and be fine.
And they come in all different colors.
And the clogs are like, you can get them with like shearling inside, so they're super warm and comfy. Yeah, you can do all kinds of things like that. Yeah. Okay. And that classic millennial look. And every girl who's our age, their Pinterest page had this look everywhere. Okay. And I've already said it one time. It's the it's the sweater, jeans, and boots look. Skinny jeans, tall boots, probably a fitted shirt of some sort, maybe like a utility jacket or a plaid shirt underneath it, and a big blanket, scarf, maybe a beanie on the head, maybe not, but then also long hair that has those big waves, right? Like those, and probably the girl is looking down at the ground and she's putting her hair behind her ear in the picture, probably. And I bet you everyone still has this look on their Pinterest page. Those of us who are still on Pinterest, I only use it for recipes at this point, but also, we do have a Pinterest page for us. Did you know that? We have a CK and GK Pinterest page.
Yeah, I at one point was going to work on that.
It's okay. It's fine. That look is just outdated altogether. So if you want to change it, again, the style of the sweater and the cut of the boot are key here. I'm seeing a lot of a half zip sweater or a V-neck collared sweater might be a great way to update that look. Change your jeans to that straight leg. Or I'm hearing a lot of the term dad jeans. I don't like that term, but I know what they're talking about. I think we all know the cut of the traditional dad jean. Yes. Okay. Yes. And then your boots are going to have a chunky sole and they're going to be ankle, but just above the ankle, right? They're a little bit taller. So yeah, that's sort of what I was learning about in terms of how to update a few things in your wardrobe. Again, no one's telling you that you have to ditch what you have. A lot of it is just going to be restyling the pieces that you have. So again, like tucking half of your shirt or learning a new tie for your shirt, because that millennial look of tying it on the side, not really working anymore. A lot of people are just taking the front of their shirt, that bottom part, and they're tucking it into their bra, like their sports bra. You just tuck it up there. It'll shorten your shirt. It looks cropped. It's the same shirt that you have. It's just about styling it in a different way so that you look a little bit more on trend. Okay. That's really what we're getting at.
The other thing I read is add some edge to an outfit that you love and feel comfortable.
That's a good point.
So for example, this classic knee boot, leggings or jeggings or
no jeggings. Jeggings were never okay. No.
Okay. But tie a flannel around your waist and put on a graphic tee.
Love that look. Love it. Or change the shoe.
And so
do that too.
Or change the shoe. But they're saying like edge is in. And not necessarily grunge, but if you can put a little punk in your outfit, you can perk up something that you're feeling
It's
outdated.
So funny that you said not necessarily grunge, because that was where my mind went, right? Like that was where, I mean, I grew up, half of my childhood was in San Francisco proper. Like the style was grunge. Ripped jeans that were wide with my Converse, my red high top Converse, and a flannel around the waist. That was and a graphic tee. That was what I wore. And when I moved to Colorado and I wore that outfit on the first day of school, I was the weird girl from California. Because I was wearing things that were on trend in California and not in Colorado. And the look at the time in Colorado, by the way, was much preppier. So just putting that out there. But
I lived in Portland, Oregon. In the
Yes, that's a look. And so we're talking about maybe Caitlin circa 1995 grunge and not Jenny in Seattle, Portland area grunge. Seattle grunge is a different level. We're not going that kind of edge. But
yeah, just find a little piece. If that's part of your personality too.
Yeah,
please. Like, I think part of my blood is actually flannel, it's not a big
for
deal
sure.
For me
I love flannel. Shackets also, that's a good way to add some flannel into your life, and those are oversized. So things that you're buying that are outerwear pieces, go oversized. Just putting that out there. Okay, so here's what I've learned in all of my research. There are things that I do need to get rid of in my closet. Ditch your blanket scarves. Sure. Your blanket scarves need to go.
And they don't need to leave your house.
Pack them away.
They are now tablecloths. No, I'm not kidding.
It's such a good idea.
So cute.
Such a good idea.
They're really fun to put on your tablescape. You can also throw them over the back of a chair, right? Mm-hmm. There's blanket in the name. They don't need to disappear. They're just not being worn the same way anymore.
You can wear them around your house. If you're trying to go to a place and look a certain way, like, don't wear your blanket scarf. That's what I mean by ditch them. Adding one oversized element to your outfit really does update your look for right now. So chunky is in when it comes to shoes. And again, I want to point out Gen Z is the one doing oversized everything, but more than likely you are not Gen Z. If you are one of my students who is listening, yes, you are Gen Z and what you are wearing is perfect and don't change. What I'm saying is our age women, our age people, add one oversized element, but keep the rest of your stuff because you don't have to dress like your child. Okay. And no one is asking you to. And wear your hair side parted. It looks great. I'm not ever going to try and make myself fit into Gen Z trends. Just not going to do it because I have too much money invested in the current clothes that I have. And because I don't want to look like that, right? I finally look like an older version of myself. And I finally have people who are taking me seriously at the age that I am because of how I look. So I want to stick with that. And I'm just going to add the one oversized thing. So you can think one tight piece for your outfit can be on the top with like a cropped shirt or a tank top that's nice and tight and fitted, or on the bottom with your skinnies. One tight piece, but only one. Kind of like the whole, take off one piece of jewelry before you walk out the door, take off one accessory, just one tight piece, and then balance it with chunky other things. You don't have to throw away or get rid of your clothes that are classic millennial. It's just the key here. The key takeaway is to pair those items with one or two pieces that are updated to give yourself a little bit more balance in your wardrobe.
Very cool.
Yes.
I have a link to an article all about building a capsule wardrobe. And this is a completely different conversation. This is not about updating. This is about really thinking about sustainability and minimalism. What standard pieces can you own that then you can wear in lots of different ways? And I found it to be interesting because this is not just like, these are the things you should buy. It's more about like how to build the wardrobe and like what to look for. So that was an interesting read, and we'll link that as well. Again, that's a different conversation. But for me, if I were to like have a takeaway from this, it's like you said, Caitlin, you can update with just one newer piece. One updated piece can update a whole look. Think about what you already have and how you can wear it differently. But also for me, it made me really realize how untrendy I already am.
Right.
And that's okay. Oh, that's okay. I have so many pieces that have been in my wardrobe for 5 or 10 years because I love that piece, or I love a version of it and I continue to buy the same thing. And that's okay. I don't need to be.
Yeah, I completely agree with that part of it. I mean, if you have a piece that you love it for a reason. And I think if you want to wear it, you should wear it and just wear it in a way that makes you feel good. So, I don't think I don't think anyone, again, I'm going to say it again, no one is telling you to throw out your clothes. We're just saying, and also I'm going to just go out there. How many of us are spending money on our children or on other things as opposed to updating our own wardrobes, right? Like my kid has like super cute new season stuff every year. And I'm over here like, let me just wear the same tunic that I, you know what I mean? Or the same scrubby t-shirt because I'm working at home now.
Right. Well, and I have bought new clothes in the recent years. But they're just replacements of the things I already had. Like, oh, I just bought myself a new pair of skinny jeans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to be a little bit more intentional about investing in quality pieces that I think might last. I don't think that a straight leg jean will ever go out of style.
Ever. Right.
So, I mean, I think when I was working retail and working the jeans wall, always the straight leg jean was doing well. So I don't see anything wrong with doing that. I mean, you know, so when you are going to add things to your wardrobe, do it on quality stuff that you know you're going to like. I think that's another big piece of it too.
I agree. Okay. And I don't think that my Foo Fighters t-shirt.
No, absolutely not. Pair that with some pointy toe boots. Cute.
Right? Mm-hmm. You know what else is not ever going to go out of style?
Listening to our show.
Right? Rating it and reviewing it and subscribing and pressing all of those stars and sharing it to your friends and making us feel all of your love. That's never going to happen.
No. Never, ever, ever will. All right. So thank you for doing those things if you do. And if you haven't, please do. Yeah, it helps us a lot. So thank you.
And when you are out there shopping or you are looking at your closet and just trying to do a purge, make good choices.
Ooh. Yeah. And if you have any gift cards, use them to buy things that will, like, you know, make you feel a little more hip. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.